When you do a small act of kindness, you usually don't get an immediate feedback. But if you stick with it long enough, then you start to see that there's these little circles of goodness that happen. And we started to see that within our community of friends, where I would do something small for someone else, and lo and behold, somebody else would do something for me, and it was unrelated. It's just that we were all just practicing kindness in that way. I like it. There were these feedback loops of people just connecting with each other through kindness. And maybe this is what they meant by the gift economy, And we tried different experiments. So then we said, how far can we push the bounds? So we started a restaurant. It's in various cities now.
Karma Kitchen is a pay-it-forward gift economy restaurant. So what that means is guests come in, and they're served a meal, but at the end of the meal they get a check that says $0, and they're basically asked to pay forward their meal for the next guest to keep the circle of giving going.
The gift economy is a shift from consumption to contribution, from transaction to trust, from scarcity to abundance, and isolation to community. Amen.
It really shifts one's orientation from sort of a me kind of orientation to a we orientation. Basically, you're sitting at this restaurant, you're served this meal, and you know that somebody else has actually paid for that meal, and also there's volunteers involved in serving it to you. So it's not just, here is my food and I'm paying for it as a transaction, but it's really a community of people have come together to really provide this for me as a gift.
You feel like it's more than just going out to a restaurant and having a meal and eating your food. It's something that you're participating in more actively. And when you're there eating, you're doing more than just consuming. You're actually being part of a community.
Oftentimes people leave in tears. They're just so blown away by the generosity and the kindness that others are showing, and they're taking that spirit and living their lives and doing things according to that spirit.
It creates a whole different dynamic, and that dynamic is subtle and hard to capture, so we sometimes lose it altogether. But it actually can be very valuable to our human experience. And so honoring that is the biggest deal. So you go to a space like Karma Kitchen and you say, well, what's the big deal? I get a meal here, I have to pay, I would pay elsewhere too. But here, you're actually realizing that somebody before you whom you don't know has, in this case very literally, paid for the rent for this week. And that has allowed you to have this meal as a gift. And now the person who is in front of you is volunteering to serve you a meal, and this is a person you don't know, and they could be out watching a movie. Instead, they're here, right, serving you, and washing your plates and bussing your tables. Why? And then you say at the end of your meal, this is all a gift, and I get to pay forward for somebody after me. I don't even know them. They'll never be able to say thank you to me. Would I do that? Why would I do that? And then how much would I leave for them? What is something worth to you? We are so conditioned by our dominant paradigm to confuse price and value. We usually think price equals value. Is that really so?
We just had one meal between the two of us, and I paid, $20, and I consider that cheap because it was the pleasure and joy of being here. It's the real experience.
If everything is rooted in gift, it requires a quality of consciousness that all its people have to be rooted in. Where people say, oh, I received something. I didn't just get lucky if I found a $100 bill. Right? It's not just free stuff. There's no stuff to gain. It's actually that I want to look at every door and say, what can I contribute? Instead of saying, how much can I consume, you're saying, how can I contribute? That shift, you need a population that is rooted in that shift. Once you have that population, that ecosystem will give birth to designs and systems that will have a thriving gift economy.
All these people are volunteering because they feel that this space and what we're trying to do here is a very meaningful thing. And we're happy to have you all as part of that experiment and that wonderful family feel. So thank you all.
The question is, if many people start doing that, what will the world look like? I don't think we know the answer to that, but it's worth finding out.
I'm a research engineer at Lawrence Livermore National Lab, and the place I work is like weapons and nuclear things, and it's like all bad karmas you can imagine. I gotta come Sundays, every Sundays, I gotta cleanse myself and come to Karma Kitchen, to get.
And it's not about how much you have or how little you have. It's not about the things anymore. It really comes down to something far subtler, which is within you, which is love, for lack of a better word.